So we're dealing with a lot of hard-hitting issues.
You know, we're just one wrong decision away from being in a really deep, scary place.
When you actually testify of the goodness of God, you know, there's a different level, you know, that you can go to or another person can go to because of sharing that with them.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda, shoulda, coulda.
Then when I started, you were just given like a track to do music on. You know, you just hear the music and you just write a song. And so a producer named Shoulda, he actually was the one that invited me to do a song on the track, on the instrumentals, and that's how I did it. But I think generally it would go for all of the songs that I write. It's always either a personal experience or it's always based on others who are either close or just by extension. There are things that you'd see and hear about people and you just write about, but it's always real issues. So that's what the song is about, basically. Shoulda, coulda, woulda was going to die, because in the Caribbean we say shoulda died, you woulda died, or you coulda, or I shoulda done this, or I woulda done that. And back then my mom used to say, you always shoulda, coulda, woulda. And so I just wrote, you know, shoulda, coulda, woulda was going to die. Jesus came into my life. Holy Spirit held me back. Now my mind is right on track. All of that,
Well, you know, not everyone can preach, and not everybody can sing. Also, as well, we're dealing with different people and different areas, and not everybody is going to respond to a preacher or a singer. You know, and the arts can be very instrumental and very powerful in winning lost souls for Christ. So, you know what I mean, I believe we use every and any vehicle to win the lost for Christ, and so that's why I tend to use the creative arts, because it's more engaging. You're more likely to get your friends from college, school, work to come to a theatre play than to come to church. So therefore, to me, I think there's an advantage in using creative ministries.
Wow, Shoulda Coulda Woulda was a song that was written about 8 or 6 years ago, and that's when I started coming to the UK and I met Alan Charles. Back then he would do a lot of poetry and stuff, and he invited a couple of artists from Trinidad to come over to do ministry. And by doing Shoulda Coulda Woulda, the song, it was played throughout the Caribbean and in Trinidad. I didn't think it would have gotten the amount of airplay that it did, and so Alan decided, like 8 years after, because of the process of doing an album, he decided to write a play based on the song Shoulda Coulda Woulda and the other songs on the album. So there are 10 songs on the album, and so we decided to put Shoulda Coulda Woulda back on this album and added an additional 9 to it. And so that's how the play came about. So the play is actually based around all the details of the song.
Why am I not surprised? Anyway, moving on. I'd now like to question you some of your policies, which I'm just...
And so when I looked at the entire script, because all of the songs, because the play was written on like the 10 songs, to learn like 7 scenes was pretty difficult in the beginning, but after a while I was surprised that it was easy to kind of get to learn it, and learning from the cast as well has helped. I mean, they give you tips and stuff, okay, you know, make sure you do XYZ, or even Alan himself, okay, we want this, we want XYZ, and so it made it a little bit easier, you know. So not that it was very easy, it's extremely difficult, and hats off to the people that do it for a living, man. But so far it has been a very nice experience learning though.
Okay, we're just about to go live onto the show in Birmingham. Everybody's very excited. So, watch this.
I'm yours. I'm so crazy.
I'm really sorry. What happened was I'll sort it
The
out.
outstanding amount is £5,000. If we do not receive in the next 7 days the full payment, and you have needs, I help you out with your needs. You don't think you can help me out with mine?
What are your needs, Mr. Johnson?
Mary, stop acting fool. I am a man, and you are a beautiful woman.
Mary has a lot of issues to deal with, and she's like a lot of women out there. She's recently separated from her husband, so she's a single mother. She's lost her job, and you know, in this current climate, a lot of people are going through the same thing. They can't make ends meet, and she's just struggling. She's a struggling Christian, which is the story for many people and Christians out there.
Look, I've had it up to here with you, okay? Just go and eat your food.
Why? Why did you send Dad away? Things were much better when Dad was dead. I didn't have to eat rice and butter every day.
Listen, Dwayne, I've explained to you 1,000 times why your dad had to leave, okay? Now just go and eat your food.
I don't want this food. I want my dad. I want to go live with my dad and Cindy. I hate you. What? I want my dad back.
Dwayne, come back here.
It's not the best thing being angry all the time, but like after we had that argument, I left my mum and I wanted to stay with my dad. So like after I didn't get along with my mum very well. So I don't think it's the best thing because I need to have a healthy relationship with my mum.
They're complete opposites. Tiana in general is quite a reserved, quite quiet child. And Dwayne is a lot more expressive vocally, and there's a lot more anger there. So rehearsing at home was quite fun because there are a few things that Dwayne says to his mother that he does not say to me. So acting that out, yeah, we had quite a few laughs because under normal circumstances that would just not be happening.
Everything I am, Lord.
Over my dead body if she's gonna have my child.
There's a few people in her life that she can rely on, like her grandmother. She's got her son, but her son seems to be turning against her as well. And you know, she's got her sister, who seems to be the ideal child. Even though they've had the same upbringing and they had similar experiences growing up, she seems to be getting the raw end of the deal, and she's looking for a breakthrough in her life.
My dear, I just leave everything at the feet of Jesus. And instead of worrying and tearing out me here, well, it could strand me have leave. I just give them all to him, and he deals with them for me. I put all my trust in Jesus, and guess what? He never failed me yet. I play Grandma. Grandma doesn't have a name. I just play Grandma. I am Mary's grandma in the show, and I'm the one that these young ladies learnt to sing from, or got their whole what would you say?
Their whole charisma.
Their whole thing came from Grandma.
Yeah.
Jesus, Jesus, how I trust him, how I prove him more and more. Jesus, Jesus, precious Jesus, oh, for grace to trust him more.
So the play is based around the lead character, which is Simone Brown, who is an upcoming gospel singer who's just about to make it big. And we're just dealing with her story of how, as a child, she was abused and she went through a lot of drama in her life. So we have her brother, who is the local drug dealer, but they all grew up in church, yeah? But he decided that church wasn't for him. We're dealing with suicide, we're dealing with being unequally yoked, you know? So we're dealing with a lot of hard-hitting issues that sometimes it's difficult to tackle.
What are you talking about my ass? Since when did this flat become your ass? Eh? Look, last time I looked, my name was on the council tenancy. I mean, you met me here, love. Don't you remember that?
Oh yeah, my main character is a 30-year-old, I would say he was a gangster. A gangster. Used to be in church, not in church anymore. Has an inkling towards church, but he's living his life. That's the main character.
And I tell you, I don't want any drug pushing friends and them in my house, and especially not around Joanne.
Your ass business.
What? You turn in this house into a drug house with your drug pushing friends and them.
You finished?
No, I ain't finished. First of all, my name is Jane in the play, and I am in a relationship with someone for 12 years. And for the 12 years that we've been together, he would not marry me. And on top of that, he is a sort of drug kingpin, if you so like. And we have a daughter who actually picked up smoking weed because of him and the lifestyle that he actually carries. I am involved with his sort of the family, so to speak, on the set as well, are his sisters, as a matter of fact, who one, of course, he gets along really, really well with, and one he doesn't get along so well with. But we all, as sisters and sister-in-law, we get along really, really well, so that's really good. But we all want John's life to change.
No, the last time this happened, there was a big bust up.
Listen.
And not again. Mary, leave him. Mary, just leave it alone. Leave it alone. Why you always have to keep doing this?
Yeah.
John, nobody's trying to tell you how to live your
So
life.
what do you call that then?
I haven't had a very easy life at all, very easy at all. I lost my mother at a pretty young age, and having a history of sexual abuse. Not a very long history, but even though it was for a short period, it still could have had a really damaging effect. And lost my mom, and then I lost my brother, you know, and so having even challenges as a child, you know, I was a person that wouldn't smile a lot and stuff. I had a very, very, very low self-esteem, but God really, and my relationship with God, I would just say, not just God, but my relationship with God is what my gosh, that is what I think really has what you see now unscathed. I tell people sometimes you pass through the fire and people are not able to smell the smoke. Not because of anything I have done, basically, but because of my relationship with God. And it's not a perfect relationship by any means, but my story is basically one of the play, from adversity to triumph, you know.
We have another remarkable woman in studio today. Oh my God. Yes, she is a mother, a singer, a songwriter, and now, ladies and gentlemen, published author, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, I play a TV hostess in Shoulda Woulda Coulda, and basically I'm interviewing the main person, Simone Brown, on her new book. So my character, she's very eccentric and very big and larger than life and quite funny.
Right. Now you said the main difference between the victim and the victor is dependent on where the individual is looking from. Do you want to explain that for us?
I'm really excited to see what God is doing in Alan's life, and you know, and as he influenced all of us who are involved in the play, and you know, and it helps us to grow in our Christian walk and to share the message of Jesus Christ with people who wouldn't normally come into the church building but would come to the theaters and see the play, that they'll hear a message and you know that it would change their life.
I just have one objective really, and that is to ensure that when people hears the music that I do, that they're very ministered to, and they can relate to it because of the songs are so real. It's not the ordinary songs that you'll hear though, but however the lyrics I guess always hits home for a lot of people, and that is what really does it for me. Not in terms of like, oh yeah, my songs are out, it's nothing to do with that. It's just hearing people say, when I listened to XYZ song, it really, really did something. It motivated me because all of these songs are written in such a way. It's always a sad, you'll probably hear sad in the beginning. It always probably starts like that, but at the end of it, there's always one main focus, and that's vertical praise.
Introduce you to some people. Some of them you already know. Let's start with John Doe and Jane Doe. Living together for the last 4 years or so. Everybody knows they have a child in smoke. John was the one who taught her the ropes. Tell me who taught him. Now who's gonna help them? We talk about them, but remember, she's somebody's sister. Oh, she's somebody's yeah. He's somebody's father. He's a father. Oh, we gonna do about it. Then there are the white-collar folks that we'd like to be like one day. They are all public exemplars, famous entertainers, extraordinary jobs but ordinary problems, family secrets, addictions and depressions, to the point where it's suicidal. They don't really talk about it, not socially accepted. She's hurting, he's hurting her.
When Simone in the play was in a difficult place in her life, I saw it as my responsibility and duty to sort of, be there as a shoulder for her to lean on. And because sometimes when people are in that sort of position where they're drinking or in a depressed position, they need a friend. And basically that was my role, to be there for Simone and be a supporting hand.
Where was he when John died? Where was he when my mother died? And where was he when my father molested me? Where is he now?
Simone, God is there. God is there and it's not over.
Yes, it's over.
It's not. It's not.
Over.
Is it really, Simone? Is it really? I remembered once when we were talking, Simone. I remembered when you said to me, remember that it's not over until God says it's over. Simone, it's not over. Please.
What is this I'm hearing about you not wanting life no more? You seem so normal to the average eye, 'cause they can't see that far. Take the calls you wish to and ignore the ones you'd rather not. Oh, I know.
As an individual, you can be in Christ for so long that you kind of forget, where you've come from or the things that you've come out of. And this play really helps to remind me that, we're just one wrong decision away from being in a really deep, scary place.
So will yourself to rise. It's not over. God says it's over. In spite of what you've been through.
It doesn't matter if you feel you're on the edge where you want to give it all up and even to take your life. God can bring you around. God can turn your sorrows into joy. Weeping may endure for the night, but joy comes in the morning.
Things don't always happen as you like them to.
It's quite eye-opening to know that many people, always a place, and it is a real life story, and many people go through that same position. And I'm glad that I can, portray that what people go through and see the end result of it, knowing that there is a God and He's able to sort your heart.
I know exactly how it feels when you are going through. My God knows just how much you can bear in this whole process. You don't have to give in.
We say the mind is willing and the body is weak, right? But greater is He that is within me. By faith, my mouth will speak even when it's so very hard to quench the throbbing that screams I need. But the guilt of the morning after is never worth the tears that stream.
It's getting better, it's not over. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, was going tonight. Jesus came into my life. Holy Spirit, help me back. Now my mind is right on track.
Come in and tell the people, yeah, what she said.
Always thought about you. Didn't think I'd find you.
You know, say every day,
But
every
I
night.
give you praise for the rest of my days.
Again, again, again.
Always thought about you. Didn't think I'd find you. Lord, I give you praise for the rest of my days. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, was going tonight. Jesus came into my life. Holy Spirit, help me back. Now my mind is right on track.
Shoulda, shoulda, coulda, 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 shoulda, coulda. Shoulda, 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 coulda, coulda, coulda. Never this I, never test I. Till we got the most high. I go sudden them. But we look and tell them Vanessa the intellect, you know. Line of Judah, the whole family. Trinidad and Tobago, universal. Yeah. Shoulda, 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 coulda, coulda, never, 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 never know. This is no way. Who know yeah what we say? Yeah, go yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Aha.
Ooh,